Hello, I'm Grace Kuriakanja, and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. U.S. President Donald Trump and the influential base that lifted him to power are at loggerheads, and it's not because of taxes or government policies. The Make America Great Again group are demanding more transparency in the case against the deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi is seeking the release of years-old grand jury testimony, but Maga critics say it's not good enough as the testimony is just a fraction of the entire file. The president called his once most strident supporters stupid, troublemakers, and dismissed the demand as a left-wing distraction. But Maga is not backing down.
Are we okay with people SAing innocent little girls? Are we okay with it? What a load of crap, dude. What a load of bull crap. And I don't believe it. The deep state is alive. We still have politicians. We still have representatives that should be making decisions on what's best for America. And instead, they're reporting to someone bigger, more powerful, giving them more money to help their lives instead of the American people's lives. Pam Bondi, you should be ashamed and you should be fired.
Well, he seems sane. Totally. But I genuinely believe that Donald Trump refusing to release more documents on this could be the thing that fractures the MAGA base. There will always be the cult. There will always be people who defend Donald Trump no matter what. But we're just seeing so many videos like this and so many different Trump fans who have supported him for a long time saying that they can't do it anymore. They are outraged.
Maga, how are you feeling about the fact that your support is now no longer needed? That you've actually been put into the Rudy Giuliani category, or, you know, any of the other people that actually put their allegiance to this guy, and once their usefulness was over, you know, he just kicked them to the curb? Because what I do know right now is that the Epstein Files are a hot item. MAGA has enough of a movement that they could actually probably force the Epstein Files to be released, because their voting power is still strong, regardless if their leader no longer really wants their support.
With videos of Trump and Epstein all over social media, supporters are wondering what he's hiding and accuse him of protecting the elite that Epstein rubbed shoulders with. They're also asking why, after hyping the planned release of the files, are Bondi and Trump now reluctant to release them? Where are the tapes and client lists she claimed to be reviewing? The internet is plastered with videos of angry supporters banning their signature red cups.
Pam Bondi needs to be fired. Who is rolling this out? The little rascals?
Pam Bondi has definitely made multiple inconsistent statements, and I'm sorry, but she does not deserve the benefit of my good opinion, and I'm not prepared to give it to her.
They're covering up. The DOJ, the current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes. Very serious crimes by their own description. Why are they doing that?
Is she stupid? Is she so click-thirsty that she got out over her skis trying to make news, being a Fox News star? It's either that or she's a liar.
People are absolutely not going to accept just a memo that was written that says there is no client list.
It's not about just a pedophile ring and all that. It's about who governs us, right? For this to go away, you're going to lose 10% of the MAGA movement. If we lose 10% of the MAGA movement right now, we're going to lose 40 seats in 26.
That is, I think, what is enraging people right now, is it's insulting our intelligence.
Shifting to another controversial issue in the U.S., Trump's immigration and deportation policies, U.S. immigration officials have now arrested and deported a Chilean 82-year-old to Guatemala after he visited an immigration center to report that he had lost his green card. The man was granted political asylum decades ago after being tortured under the regime of dictator Augusto Pinochet.
So the 82-year-old man is named Luis Leon, and he's from Chile. He came to the U.S. like 38 years ago because he was getting tortured by Chile's former leader, Augusto Pinochet. So we gave him political asylum in here. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, and he was a legal resident in the US and he had his green card and everything. But one day he lost his wallet, which had the green card in it. So him and his wife went to the immigration office to get a new card. Okay, so far sounds like a very normal thing to do. Yeah, but at the office, 2 ICE agents handcuffed him and took him away without even telling his wife why. And then they kept his wife in the building for 10 hours before she was allowed to leave. Okay, that's messed up. But yeah, Luis was gone and his family had no idea where he was. A day later, a suspicious woman called the family, and she said she was an immigration lawyer and she could help Louise get out on bail. Well, how did she even know about this whole thing? That's the reason Louise's family was kind of suspicious of her. But then the same woman called again and told the family that Louise had died. But she didn't give them any details, like no hospital name, no location, nothing. So the family was heartbroken, but they were still suspicious. So he passed away? Well, no, because their relative in Chile found out that he was alive and he was in a hospital in Guatemala. Wait, me? What brought him here? No idea. He has no family and no history there. So he was just deported to Guatemala for nothing. Yeah, and ICE didn't give the family any details. The thing is, Louise doesn't have a criminal record, like not even a parking ticket. So yeah, moral of the story, don't lose your wallet in here. No, the moral of the story is fix your government.
Now, while Leon's granddaughter says he's in Guatemala, the Central American nation says he's not in the country. A recent Supreme Court decision ruled the Trump administration could deport immigrants to other countries beside their country of origin. Washington's current policy towards migrants has become a bone of contention as Trump prioritizes making good his election promise to deport millions and millions of immigrants. Immigration officials are regularly rounding up suspected illegal immigrants, leading to several protests across the country.
Before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
So the announcement comes days after Stephen Colbert criticized Paramount, CBS's parent company, for its settlement with President Trump. Colbert called the $16 million payout a big, fat bribe, while CBS says the decision is purely financial and unrelated to the show's performance. Some argue it reflects the steady decline of traditional TV as streaming and social media gain popularity.
We have to remember nuance. We have to remember that, yes, the fatal blow was from the administration who does not agree with Stephen Colbert. But are we just like supposed to pretend that late night television was thriving? People are watching videos more like this than they are television. And if we are seeing that, it's just clips of that show. So I'm just like clocking that because I don't want to be told how to think like, oh, everyone was so into this and they shut it down because the Trump administration. Both of those things can be true. But we can't forget nuance. Late night is a business. There are cheaper ways to produce this. They found a villain to tie this up neatly.
Just because they cancel a show like the Stephen Colbert Show does not mean that he doesn't have a voice. A lot of these popular media hosts, all of them end up on YouTube, and they're all taking over the space of the TikTokers and the YouTubers. So expect to see more of them go on YouTube and social media. Colbert will be just fine, all right? This is the day and age we live in. No one is watching mainstream news channels, but they are getting paid still.
Anime fans had an exciting weekend as one of the most iconic series of all time just released its second movie, shattering box office records. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, a Chapter 1, premiered in Japan, earning over $25 million during its opening weekend. This is the biggest opening weekend for any movie in Japan in 2025. The movie is set to hit international screens in the coming months, but someone leaked the whole film and the internet is not happy about it.
Demon Slayer Infinity Castle sold out in 10 minutes. Sold out every showing in 10 minutes. Some people had to wait for hours just to get a seat. And they were keeping their theaters open till 2 in the morning so that these people can go and see the new Demon Slayer movie.
Otaku News Insider says some fans in Japan were so amazed at the animation quality of the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Arc Movie 1 that they're calling Ufotable downright terrifying. The visuals were absolutely breathtaking, and the Zenitsu and Akaza fights are the best of the series to date. I also cried. From the anime flow, Demon Slayer movie is full of people at 2 a.m. on a weekday. It was reported that the midnight screenings for the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie was sold out in 24 theaters across Japan.
The animation, absolutely insane. The fighting sequences, next level. The emotions, yeah, they hit hard. The first thing I heard when exiting the theater was everyone around me was crying. yeah, basically, so get ready to cry.
Someone has leaked the entirety of the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie. Even after animation studios warned this year that they're willing to put people in prison for up to 10 years for doing this type of stuff. Even after they warned that you don't have to live in Japan for them to reach you, someone still chose to take their phone and record from their seat the entirety of the movie and just post it online. And my thinking is this: there are only so many spots in a theater where you can get a particular angle. So that means if they can link your ticket to your seat, bro, you're actually fraud.
Now, there was public uproar in Senegal after the Grand Theatre in the capital, Dakar, issued a ban on wigs, hair extension and skin lightening products. The government backed down after just one day. An internal memo signed by the country's culture ministry said the ban intended to promote Pan-African values and protect the institution's cultural image. The move, however, ignited a broader debate on how institutions and governments can attempt to control women's bodies and their choices with policies posing as cultural pride. Women say they have a right to decide what to wear and how to wear it.
Feminist groups and civil society condemned the move as sexist, especially amid low female representation in government as well as the removal of the women's ministry. But many argued that it reduced identity to appearance and ignored deeper issues such as education and inequality. Now, while the ban has been revoked, the debate it sparked over gender identity and power continues to stir public opinion.
So the conversation around women's hair has long been controversial, with different people holding diverse opinions. In February, Ghanaian gospel musician and preacher Sonny Badu questioned the origin of particularly human hair wigs that most women prefer. The late South African legendary musician Hugh Masekela did not hide his dislike for weaves and wigs. He refused to take pictures with women wearing them. Ivory Coast has gone a step further and banned wigs, weaves, hair extensions and skin lighters from beauty pageants.
Miss Côte d'Ivoire is the national competition, and for decades, it's been dominated by wigs. This year, the rules changed. To compete, contestants must wear their own hair. Braided, straightened, afro, it doesn't matter, as long as it's natural. The reason for this decision may just make you proud. Organizers want to celebrate African beauty in its natural form. There's also a health angle. Experts have long warned about the damage caused by excessive wig and weave use, things like hair loss, scalp irritation, and more. Organizers also want to reduce the financial pressure because the hair industry in Ivory Coast is worth over $300 million. But stylists are worried about what this could mean for their business, especially those who specialize in weaves. Though the response to this has been mixed. While some contestants feel empowered and more authentic, others miss the creativity that wigs allow.
Now, if you're sipping matcha while watching this, you better savor every drop because the world's obsession with the green powder is starting to cause problems, especially in Japan. In Uji, the historic heart of matcha production, demand is outpacing supply fast. Some shops are selling an entire man's worth of matcha in just a single day, even with purchase limits.
It is true that we are selling out matcha, but it is natural. It is not because people are over-consuming. Okay, some people are consuming, but the reason why we're selling out is because there's only one harvest season a year for the matcha leaves. So depending on the blend of matcha, these raw leaves may be harvested in spring, summer, or even the fall. Because of the rise of popularity in matcha this year, a lot of the matcha farms did not expect to sell out this quickly. They only had a certain amount of raw leaves that they kept in store to make matcha powder out of. But because matcha became so viral in the beginning of this year, a lot of these brands did not know how to manage that.
Tea ceremony instructors, temples, shrines, they all rely on a steady supply, but that's now under threat. The sudden surge is driven in part by tourists. Japan's tourism industry hit a record this year with nearly 37 million visitors. Health trends and the drink's viral aesthetic have only fueled the hype, especially online, where matcha desserts and drinks light up social feeds. There's talk of expanding tea farms to boost production, but that takes time. Until then, true Uji matcha is becoming harder to find, and that scarcity is only making it more desirable. From matcha to mocha, your daily coffee hit might be doing more than perking you up. Research from the US-based NASA's health study has found that drinking caffeinated coffee in midlife is linked to healthier aging in women.
The long-term study followed 47,000 female nurses for 30 years. Nearly 4,000 of them met the criteria for healthy aging. Drinking coffee helped women with physical health, memory issues, mental health, and serious long-term illnesses. These women also lived longer than 70 years and had no chronic illnesses like cancer, diabetes, or kidney failure. The study also found that other caffeinated drinks like tea, cola, or decaf coffee did not show the same benefits. So ladies, that morning brew could just be the secret to longevity.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.